I think that I think we're ready to talk about the swamp thing because I think that the swamp thing must have some truth to it. Okay. I think there probably is a lot of truth to it. I think there is a lot of media that has a lot of truth embedded all in it, and yet it is portrayed as fictional. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. That's what's happening, you all. What on earth is happening to my cell phone? I'm trying to get my video on here, you all. If you just give me one moment, because we're gonna talk about the swamp thing, and we're gonna learn about it together. Hello, everyone. Yes, we got it going. We do. We got it going, you all. As you can see, the swamp thing right here. I think I only seen maybe one or two of the episodes that had this swamp thing right here, man in there. And you have to ask yourself, where did they come up with these ideas? And then I think there's like a DC comic book, and then other books written. Can y'all hear me just fine? Other books written about swamps. And you know what triggered my mind? I had went to the store today and I saw this old comic book. They were selling it for $3, and it said the swamp thing. And there was a little baby human, and next to the baby human, maybe a toddler, was a toddler swamp baby. That's what I saw, and I thought, why did they write one about that? Why did they write one about that? About a toddler baby and a swamp baby. Okay, and that's where we're going to go, you all. We are. Yes, we are. Now, this may not be for everyone, but that's okay. We're going to flip it over. I'm going to make, oh, hello, Susan B., honey. Hello, everyone. Let's, yeah, the creature, did you say the lagoon? Somebody talking about the lagoon or something? Yeah, the Swamp Thing comic is worth $10,000. Bet you'd have to have somebody to buy it. Okay, because there's this place I went, and they have all kinds of old comic books in pristine condition, and they are in plastic sleeves, you all. They're in plastic sleeves, all types of DC comics, $3 for like these old ones. Okay, they are. That's right, they are. Most of the DC Marvel characters come from Haiti and Hawaii indigenous people. Wow, yes, here we go, Al. Yes, I'm so glad you joined us. I am. So yes, I am. So let's get this going, you all. Let's come over here. So what I did is I think I started off. Are there aliens who live in the swamps? See, all I did was open up some tabs. Okay, so we're gonna learn together, you all. We are. So I don't know if I opened that one up right there. I don't, but I did. Let me see this. So, U.S. agencies maintain secrecies of UFOs and point zero energy. Okay, we got theories about these. The attack of the 30-minute sitcom. I don't know what that means, you all. I don't know what this means. This better not be derogatory because I don't think that's very nice if it is from the Washington Post. By the way, I put in a specific time search. I did. I specifically went and put like from 1977 to maybe 1999, and because I wanted to pull up whatever was out there during that period of time. Okay, so the attack of the 30-minute sitcom, whatever that was, it's hungry and it lives in a cave and it's dying to get out. It's the new TV season, Run for Your Lives. What's that mean? A new fall season? Mini shows. The trouble with... what are you all? I don't know. I just now clicked into this. I want to know what they're talking about. I don't know. There's nothing in here for us to look at, you all. There really isn't. So that's not, there's not even any pictures. We're not going to look at that. That's a waste of our time, you all. We got important things to do. We do. We got important things to do. So let's see this. Theories abound on how the rivers got those patterns. So what were those circular patterns all up and down the Charles, wherever the Charles is at? I don't know. The Charles River. So let's see. My mail and telephone conversations might be described as close encounters of a circular kind, and the theories have poured in response to photographs showing swirl patterns in the snow-covered ice on the Charles River. Now, is this about lagoons, you all? This is talking about home atmospheric planetary sciences is what it's talking about. Um, I don't even know why I opened that up. Okay, I don't. Well, they're talking about flying saucers, about swirls. They're talking about people who attributed the circular patterns to the same aliens who presumably created patterns found in the fields of England, and perhaps they're caused by the heat from the flying saucers. Others say they're playful aliens had finished their work in England and they became thirsty and had come to Charles for water. All right, well, let's see this, you all. Swirl patterns are frozen in the eddies. That's really interesting. The wind and all this kind of stuff. You all, we want pictures. No, we can't look at that because it don't got pictures. And now see, this has got pictures. The Alan Moore, the Swamp Thing, the saga of the Swamp Thing. And I've never read of it. I think I've heard of the Swamp Thing. I really do. Yeah, I think I heard of the Swamp Thing, but you can just look at this. Look at this Pulp Fiction, Pulp Librarian on Twitter, Prologue, an alien spacecraft. Have you all clicked into these before? Because I think there is a whole lot of things that can be seen on these. No, I'm not going to do it, you all. We're not going to do it. I just want to look at some of these images. Look at this. DC Comic. Swamp Thing number 49. Where did they come up with this at, you all? He's got pretty good teeth. Don't you think he's got really good, nice looking teeth? I think he does. He's got really nice teeth right there. If we were to look at it right there. It's the Swamp Thing series tries to capitalize on the 1982 summer release of Wes Craven film. So this is really 75 cents. So 75 cents, that's fine. Yeah, 75 cents is fine, you all. So let me go back to here because I thought I had some stories to tell. I did. I really thought I had some good stories to tell other than these things about these you all, is this going back to the screen? Because I'm pushing that button. This one doesn't. This is this robotic? Is that Swamp Thing robotic? Or is it just bones or something? Yeah. I wish we had a Swamp Thing comic. I really do, you all. But they're saying that these Swamp Things, if you've ever watched it, I haven't really. What? Look what that's doing. Isn't that neat? Look at that. I'm not doing it. It's the computer's doing it. I've never clicked into anything that did that, you all. I guess they don't want us to see the Swamp Thing. That's okay, you all. It is all right, but I really did want to find something about the Swamp Thing. So there's a legend of the Honey Island Swamp Monster. Honey Island Swamp Monster. Well, that looks like Sasquatch. A short drive from Louisiana are many acres of swampland in the Honey Island Swamp that are said to be as uncorrupted, primitive, untouched by man as anywhere in America. Is that really true, you all? Acres of swamp in Indiana, in Honey Island in Louisiana that are primitive and untouched by man. That's really interesting because if there is, then there must be some reason why. Not just because it's swamp and it's got snakes and all that kind of stuff. There's got to be another reason. It is for this very reason that some say it may actually be possible. How did this turn green, you all? It matches the Swamp Thing. I did not make my cursor like this, you all. I didn't. It's for this very reason that some people say it may be actually possible for a creature to live in these parts and go unnoticed by humans. Well, almost unnoticed. Yeah. So the first documented sighting of the mysterious creature in this area took place in the early August of 1963. Harlan Ford, I like this screen. I don't know how it got on here. Harlan Ford, a retired air traffic controller, and his friend Billy Mills came home from the swamp with an incredible story. I hope it is incredible. Wait a minute. Okay, I don't got too much of a green on you. I don't, but I think it's really neat how when I am highlighting it turned green, and I didn't do it because I don't know how to do it. Okay, I don't. The pair of veteran hunters claim that while out in the swamps, they came across a large creature standing over the body of a dead boar. The strange creature had a no. It had apparently did something, and it wasn't too pretty to look at. Okay. Harlan described the creature as being covered in dingy gray hair. Well, that's not very nice. That really isn't very nice because, what if that being had feelings and he's describing it as dingy and gray? That's not nice at all. With longer hair hanging from its head, the two estimated the creature weighed close to 400 pounds and stood about 7 feet tall. 7 feet tall. Yeah, he might be nice. He might. The creature's enormous size and hair was frightening enough, but the amber-colored eyes and horrible stench that reeked from the creature were the two things that stuck in Harlan and Billy's mind from this unbelievable encounter, you all. Unbelievable encounter. So, back at home, Harlan told his family about the encounter. He said it was like nothing I'd ever seen before. Ugly and sinister and looking like something out of a horror movie, and it swung around and looked at us for a moment, then it tore off into the swamp. I want you to know, it scared the heck out of me. Well, it was scared to death of you. That's why it took off running. I think it took off running because it literally was terrified of the humans. What were you doing in their swamp? What was you doing in that swamp near that being is what I'd like to say. Yeah, so look at this. So these are a cast of imprints made by the Honey Island swamp monster. Well, that's maybe its habitat. It really is probably its habitat because it can't come anywhere near humans because obviously humans would probably shoot it. They probably would. So how many toes does it have? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 toes. Don't they look kind of webby? Can you see they look kind of webby or something? Maybe. How did he get that impression, you all? This is really what you got to ask. How did you get the impression with those? Okay, let's look at this, you all, because this is, it wasn't really what I was looking for. I wasn't looking for something like a Sasquatch. I was looking for a swamp monster, a swamp thing. From Harlan's description, the monster is 7 feet tall. Its legs are slender, but its chest and its shoulders were huge, and it had long gray hair on its head and short, dingy gray hair on its body. Long gray hair. I'm trying to picture that, you all. So it would look like a person, like a muscle builder, a bodybuilder with long, slender legs, a great, big, bulky upper body with long gray hair, and short, I don't know what dingy means, gray hair on its body, whatever dingy means. So that would be really interesting to see. It also had unusual eyes, and they were very large. There's that word amber again. Amber. Let's look up the color amber. Not her. I don't want to look at her. Okay, this is the color of amber. It kind of looks like sap. Okay, that's what color its eyes were, that color right there. Okay. So like sap or beeswax or something like that. That's what amber looks like. Okay, so it had amber eyes. If I can close this out. All right. So the eyes, they were very large in amber and colored and looked hard at us before running off. Harlan was an honest man and he didn't care if people believed him or not. And while the news of this story spread like wildfire, the locals knew that the stories of this ferocious creature goes back hundreds of years. The Native Americans of the area called the creature Letechi. Lechi. Is that how you say it? Lechi? And described it as a meat-eating, human-like creature that lived in the water and on the land. Yeah, so it lived in the water and on the land. The Indians from this area believe the swamp monster was once an abandoned child, who was raised by alligators in the deep, dark regions of the swamp. The Cajuns called the creature Loup Carou, which some say means werewolf. Oh, well, that that might that may seem like a werewolf. Okay, it might. So some researchers believe that Honey Island swamp monster is related to Bigfoot. While the body size and description is very similar, the tracks found in and around Honey Island swamp do not resemble tracks collected in the Pacific Northwest. I can't even see it, you all. It's too close. I can't make it out. Can you make it out? It kind of looks like a baboon. Really, it does look like a baboon right there in the face. A little bit of a baboon. If this was the face right here, that's really, let me close that out. So there are 4 and sometimes 3 toed. They have 4 toes and sometimes 3 toes, and much like tracks discovered in the southeastern Texas parts of Florida. So they made them. So their foot is about 10 to 12 inches long, with 3 long toes that are thin, and they're set next to each other and forth and back on the inside rather than like a thumb. Oh, so he was a trapper. Oh, he said he could have killed him, but he didn't because it didn't seem like it wanted to harm them. I'd seen them swimming the river and get out of the bank and then disappear in the swamp. Oh, wow. So today, the creature is still purported to inhabit the swamp and the bayous along the Peel River. The local lore tells of a train crash that occurred near the swamp in the early 20th century, in which a traveling circus lost chimpanzees who adapted to the environment, and offer a potential explanation as to the origins. Okay, so that's one type of a swamp monster, but I wanted to find out about the swamp thing. I really did. And you know what? I really thought there would be a lot of things on here, but you know what? I'm not seeing it. But then we talked about the Venusians last night. Okay, we talked about the Venusians last night. Alien life could be living in the clouds above. Okay, but I think this said somewhere in here, and they're talking about the water. On Earth, phosphine is much important for life and oxygen. So they're talking about penguins. They're talking about Cardiff University first discovered phosphine using a large telescope in Hawaii. All right, so they got that. I wanted to see, so is there life? Let's see. I wanted to see if there was. Venus has, wait. The planet's clouds are thick and they contain sulfuric acid, which would be deadly for any living organism on the earth. Well, we have very thick clouds lately. We do. You know, the sky looks so thick. It's extremely, extremely thick. Like icing up there at times. It does. Sulfuric acid. There was a cartoon my children used to watch, and it had something about sulfuric acid in it. A character that liked sulfuric acid. Can't remember what it was. Let's see. The moons of Jupiter. When will we find it? Okay, you all. So they ain't got nothing on here, you all. I really thought we could talk about these swamp things. The swamp things. I really did think we could, but you know it doesn't want to pull it up. But I tell you what, we don't want to look at this because I don't think it's a fictional character, you all. I don't think the swamp thing is fictional. I think the swamp thing is really real. And if there's not much information on it out there, they're really keeping this information hush hush, is what I'd say. Totally hush hush, because they don't want you to know about it. It's a fictional superhero in the DC comic. A humanoid planet. Oh, it's a humanoid planet elemental. Okay, I've heard of the elementals. I have. And I think they exist. I really do. It resembles an anthropomorphic mound of vegetable matter, and it fights to protect his swamp home, the environment in general, and humanity from various supernatural or terrorist threats. So let's think about this. If this truly is a elemental, if the swamp thing is an elemental, and it is, as they say, it fights to protect his home and the environment in general and humanity from various supernatural threats, then I can see that, and I can see why they would paint a type of being like this elemental in a bad way, okay, for the mere fact that it is an elemental. Okay, if it was, okay, yeah, I could see how they would do that, paint it in a bad way. So the concept, the creation, because it looks like they're painting it kind of in a scary way, you think, you all? Something like that. I don't know about it. Yes, hello, you all. I'm trying to find some stuff on here because I saw this magazine today, and it was about the swamp. A swamp toddler sitting at a swamp with a baby swamp baby, a baby swamp whatever. And I was thinking, okay, surely there's a lot of stuff on here other than just this monstrous looking. Okay. I haven't seen it. I haven't. But what if this really is a good being? Okay, what if it is a really good being? You see, like this right here. Who or what? Let's see. Who or what is the swamp thing? Don't make it scary, you all. The show leans. It's a Metacritic, Saturn, DC Universe. Okay, they got it. Oh, they got babies. What if there is a whole army of swamp beings? What if there is? There could be a whole army of them. Well, let's just say that. If there's one, you know there's more. Surely there's not just one swamp being that exists. Just like humans, surely there's not just one human being that exists on the planet in each state. There's not. Okay, I think that these are, look at this. Things are very different in the green. I have become so accustomed to traveling through it, using it as an easy means of transplanting my consciousness from one place to another, that I forget it is not merely a convenient highway. So look at this. Every plant that grows, every form of vegetable life on the face of the earth is part of the green. It is a vast collective consciousness, non-sentient yet self-aware. Oh, non-sentient. I think they're telling us about it. Really, I really do. A non-sentient yet self-aware. The green has a different agenda than that of a mankind. Its timetable is measured in millennia, not hours or days. What is a non-sentient being with a collective conscience? Non-sentient being Okay, well, let's see what non-sentient beings are. Let's look at these. What it is. A category of a non-sentient being are those not fully capable of experiencing sensations such as pain or pleasure. Um, that doesn't sound too hot. It doesn't sound too nice. But you know what? That's the no. We don't want to see it, you all. But as for those, what happened to them, you all? Did I lose my place in that? I thought I had this open and it's lost my place. Is what happened. Totally lost it, you all, with this DC comic. What do you have these ode? Look at all of these ode stories. Look at this spaceship. The Trigan Empire starts with a crashed alien ship. Its records are eventually translated, and the histories of aliens are revealed. Pulp librarian, you all. We're just going all over the place. You say, Gina, no, we're not going all over the place, Gina. You are going all over the place. Well, I am. Let's say this. Its records are eventually translated. The mysterious craft was salvaged and put on exhibition at an American World Fair. And yet, okay, they got these, I guess the medical men study the sketches made from the bodies of the dead people. Okay, they had the bodies, they had human bodies. I think this is real, I really do. All of that right there, you all. These, how can I get out of this thing right there? How do we end up on those? Pulp librarian, you all. So if you look at that, that looks like a Nephilim. What if it is a Nephilim, a giant? Look, they can move the stones themselves, you all. They can move these stones themselves. First, my brothers, a wall to encircle the 5 hills upon which we stand. Oh, wow, you all. What is this? How did we enter that, you all? I want to get out of that, you all, because I'm trying to find out these, I'm trying to find out this swamp being. They're supposed to be non-sentient beings, is what they're supposed to be. Yeah, let me look at this, you all. Yeah, I see somebody got themselves in trouble by Apple Brooks. Okay, they did. That's okay. It is okay, you all. It's fine. I was trying to find this right here. But see, look at this. There's hardly anything about the swamp thing. Let me look at this. Swamp thing. The swamp beings. Myth. Let me see what this would pull up. The legend of Snake Island Warrior. Snake Island Warrior. I wonder what that's about, you all. The Snake Island Warrior. Let me do this. Okay, let's look at this. So this is in 1996. The island's high and dry now, covered with vegetation. But John Fritchie, who farmed the Everglades with his daddy more than a half a century ago, has tales to tell about this place. Stories overheard, stories passed on by his daddy and granddaddy and the old men of the swamp. Trappers and gator skinners, fishermen, loggers, farmers, eerie haunting tales of inexplicable sounds and sights, you all. I really find this strange that there's hardly any information on it. I really do. And it really, what if in the swamps, the reptilians also live in the swamps? Okay, maybe that's why. What if there's something much more to it? Okay, let me find this cursor right here. Let me put myself over here. So mostly it was lights. It was the lights. Ghostly beams of lights that suddenly appeared rising from the heart of Snake Warriors Island, or Little Honey hill, as he calls it, far into the sky, high as any eye can see. Let's find Snake Warrior Island. Let's go to Google search and see if we can find that place. Google Earth Pro. See if we can find that. I wonder if it'll even show up. Let me look at this. Okay, it's taken us to Snake Warrior Island. Aha! There we go, you all. Right down there. That's really interesting. So, is there a lot of sightings of UFOs and or, well, that's interesting because there's a lot of earthquakes in these areas. There's a lot of spirographs in this area right here. It's right by the Snake Warrior Island, right by the Bahamas. That's really interesting. All right. Or Little Honey Hill. Let's see if there's a Honey Hill. And it's not Gina Honey. It's not Gina Honey. Yeah, okay, let's see. Little Honey Hill. Let's see where Little Honey Hill is at. There looks like there's lots. Honey Hill Coffee, Honey Hill Farm, Honey Hill. Okay, well, I didn't find it, you all. Let's get out of that. You all hang on there right there. But this may not be popular. So they saw this light as far into the sky, high as the eye can see. For 100 years, people seen those lights going up and down from the sky. Haints is what they called them, an old-timer's word for ghosts and or evil spirits. Haints shuttling between the heavens and the island's two high ridges. Since childhood, Fritchie, who figures his age to be about 66, kept a journal of his experiences and the stories heard. This is really interesting. So those recollections were published in 1992 by Florida Heritage Press under the title Everglades Journal. Everglades Journal. Fritch's family lived off the sand and the muck of South Florida as squatters for generations. He says about 5 years ago, he sold the last remnants of his South Florida farm, 10 acres at University Drive and Davie Extension, and he moved to Clarksville, Georgia. He still comes several times a year to visit his daughter. Snake Warrior Island is located in Miramar on the north side of County Line Road and west of the Southwest 62 Avenue, with cars driving by. So it's hard to imagine what it was like in his daddy's youthful days when this was the eastern edge of the Everglades, where he paddled around the island in a boat. Folks now drive, and water having been replaced by asphalt. Oh, wow. They got a song about about the Everglades and stuff. I'm sure they got lots of songs about it, you all. The tropical hardwoods and citrus trees clumped together in the upland areas of his fenced-in urban oasis, while pasture grasses and sprinkling of wetland vegetation stress across the lowlands. Owned by the state and managed by Broward County, 53.3 acres are slated for wetland restoration and eventually will be opened up as a park. So look at this. Snake Warrior is the oldest documented Seminole Indians. Oh, it's like that song. It says, it's like this. It says, blow, blow, Seminole wind, blow like you're never gonna blow again. I'm calling to you like a long-lost friend, but I know who you are. You know that song, way down south in the Everglades, where the whatever. They sung the song of a Seminole in the wind. Yeah, Seminole wind, that's a song. It's an old country song. Well, it's not old. I remember it when I was a teenager. Blow, blow, Seminole wind. Yeah. And they, in the name of flood control, is what they said in the song. They use flood control in order to get rid of the Everglades. Yeah, it's kind of a thank you. You never know, and I might read something and it'll make a song come back to my memory. You never know when that will happen. Yeah, let's look at this, you all. Let's look at the Seminole Wind Song. Yeah, because it's on here. It's real. The Seminole Wind. Let's see the lyrics. Let me see the lyrics because it has a story right there. John Anderson. Ever since the days of old, men would search for wealth untold. They'd dig for silver and for gold and leave the empty holes. And way down south in the Everglades, where the black water rolls and the sawgrass waves, the eagles fly and the otters play in the land of the Seminole. It's like this, you all. You sing it with me, you all. So blow, blow, Seminole wind, blow like you're never gonna blow again. I'm calling to you like a long-lost friend, but I know who you are. And blow, blow from the Okeechobee all the way up to Micanopy. Blow across the home of the Seminole, the alligators and the gar. I haven't heard this song in years. And progress came and took its toll. And in the name of flood control, they made their plans and they drained the land. Now the glades are going dry. And the last time I walked in the swamp, I sat up on a cypress stump. I listened close and I heard the ghost of Osceola cry. So blow, blow, Seminole wind, blow like you're never gonna blow again. I'm calling to you like a long-lost friend, but I know who you are. And blow, blow from the Okeechobee all the way up to Micanopy. Blow across the home of the Seminole, the alligators in the gar. So that's that song, you all. Seminole Wind. It was one of my favorites because it was very sad. It was really sad to listen to. It was. It still moves me within my being, you all. It does. It's sad. It really is. They lost their land. They did. They lost it. That's right. They lost their land is what happened. Al Sanchez, honey, thank you. Yeah, so you all, we got these Everglades. The Seminole settlement in the eastern Everglades. Arriving on the island in about 1828, the Seminoles continued to live there for the next 30 to 40 years. And in the 1890s, the white settlers claimed the island, and by then, Fritchie says, the Seminoles were calling their former home a wicked place, where houses presently sprawl, water-teamed with bass and snook and brim, and folklore and myth. Fritchie is an expert on those handed-down tales. Though the PhD doesn't know it, Fritchie says the Cuban ranchers were on the island a century before the Indians. They put in a boat landing, they raised hogs and cattle, which they then shipped back to Cuba. They also made rum from the palmetto berries. In more recent memory, the island saw duty as a citrus grove and a dairy farm. Wow, I didn't know all of that. But this Halloween season, it's the haints, the entities omitted in the historic recitations that fascinate. The Indians knew about the spirits long before anybody else, says Fritchie. In fact, he says a sea captain in the late 1800s tried to establish a trading post on the island, and the idea was to do business with the Indians. But by then, Fritchie said, for reasons unknown, the Indians called the place an evil island, and they would not come there. They wouldn't come there, you all. So try as he might, the captain could not coax the Indians to his dock, Whether the hapless trader came to believe in the legends, Fritchie doesn't know. It didn't matter. He fell victim to the ghosts anyway and forced by the lack of business to abandon the post. Reports of haints surfaced as early as 1895 when white settlers on the South Island, the South Snake Creek, began talking in hushed tones about the mysterious lights on the north side of the island. Some folks were certain they were the haints. Yes. Yeah, you are. So let's look at this. So, in the 1920s, a group of black Americans gathering rocks from the island for home construction in North Dade were frightened off by a strange apparition. They said that they saw an old slave ship. What is going on? They saw an old slave ship sail up to the old boat landing, and it was full of haints trying to catch them. That sounds like, you know that Jack guy? You know that Jack? He was that pirate and stuff, and it had those ships that had the spirits on it. Did it have the spirits on it or something? Okay. The workers had fled, and another chapter was added to the ghostly legend. Back in the 20s or 30s, says Fritchie, recalling the stories he heard as a boy, there was an old man who lived on the island, and they called him a hermit. He had a grove, and you could go up there, and you could buy oranges and grapefruits from him. He had a long beard. There were strange stories about that man. Of course, back in those days, there were folks in the Everglades hiding from the law, and they'd get back on those islands and shoot at people if they did not want them to come by. So, yeah, but this old man, I don't think he done anything. I think he was a good man. He said there was also some folks heard stories, lots of moaning and groaning emanating from the island where the old man lived. And complaints became so numerous during those years that the local sheriff sent one of his men to the island to investigate. Far as I know, he didn't find nothing. He didn't find nothing, you all. He went to that island, and the ghosts all went in hiding. He didn't find a single thing. But let's look at this, you all. Let's finish reading this. But even that didn't steal the rumors. Fritchie remembers one man claimed to have found a whole nest of haints out there. Somebody asked him, how many haints was there in the nest? Obviously, not everybody believed the tale. Everybody laughed at him. Garth Phipps, who illustrated Fritchie's journal, said he too grew up hearing the haint stories. His family had been in Florida since the Civil War afterward. The ghostly rumors kept many farmers from planting too close to the island. He once heard about a surveying crew who felt themselves being watched by someone on the island. And anyone that went to the island to comfort their spy, they never found anybody, not even a footprint. Despite the never-ending stories, Fritchie says he nor his father was afraid of the island. My daddy wasn't afraid of nothing. You couldn't be afraid of nothing and live out there in the Everglades. I mean, you had snakes crawl in your bed at night. And like many in his family, they were squatters, farming 3 months in one place, 6 months in another. Often they would rent a house or apartment in town, and they would go on Sundays. The remainder of the week, they'd live in a palmetto hut thrown together in the fields. We're almost done, you all. We're almost done. So after the passage of compulsory school law, wow, so they made going to school compulsory. Fritchie found himself, at least occasionally, attending school. I'd do everything I could to keep from going. The authorities were always trying to get into Daddy for not having us in school. But he loved prowling the glades and hunting, farming, and fishing. On Snake Warrior Island, he found wild elderberries, huckleberries, coon, opossum, and a few wild hogs, all gone now, just like the surrounding water. Over time, even the scare stories have changed. In the 1980s, Fritchie said the area still fueled of rumors of strange lights, and strange beings walked around after sunset. Not one mentioned the haints, though. Since technology was overtaking the folklore, Suddenly, Fritchie says folks were blaming flying saucers. He doesn't believe it, but then he never believed in the Haints. So you all, that was kind of interesting. They have the Haints in Florida. Yeah, somebody not being nice. Yeah, you got to be nice. Christine, honey, you got that root beer going? You do. That's okay, you all. Let's look at this. The Haints. The Haints beings, let's see. Oh no. You know, they got this Haints beings, and then I don't know if I want to get into this. So, sleep paralysis or the Haints, deliverance counseling. Into sleep only to have an ominous experience. African Americans from the Deep South have named the Haints. It's difficult to describe. Psychoanalysts would probably classify the Haints as an episode of the 3Ds, disassociation, decompensation, or disorientation. What? They had a series about the Haints? I never heard of the Haints. No. Okay, here's a book. This, I guess they would look at it. It's the water right there, the Haint. Sleep paralysis is real. Voodoo magic. The Pine Hill Haints. The Song Companion. No, you all. And then look, that's the zombie. The Haints Zombie Crush. Oh, wow. So the Haints in the media. Yeah, I don't know about that, you all. So it's the Haints are real. Sleep paralysis, Scooby-Doo. Yeah, you all. So spirit, I think they're probably spirit beings. Spirit beings. Yeah, I can't really see much of it. I don't want to get into that, you all. I don't like to, I don't dabble in that kind of stuff, okay? I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So yeah. Whoo! So that's all right, you all. Let me put this story here of the Haints right here. You have sleep paralysis twice a week. I wonder why that happens, Douglas. I really do. Spirit beings. Yeah. So that's okay. Yeah. Sleep paralysis. I don't think I've ever. I don't know what it is. I don't know what sleep paralysis is. Let's see what it is. This says sleep paralysis is a state during waking up or falling asleep in which a person is aware but unable to move or speak. And during an episode, one may hallucinate, which often results in fears. Episodes generally last less than a couple of minutes, and it may be occurring as a single episode or reoccurrent. Awareness but inability to move during waking or falling asleep. Do you think, William Smith, you would almost every night? Wow. Almost every night. Sleep paralysis and yeah, hello. So let me look at this, you all. So a link between sleep paralysis and alien abduction. Now, I'm not saying, you all, I'm not saying you're being abducted by aliens. I'm not saying that at all. Okay, I'm not. I just wanted to pull something up. A lot of people believe that there is a link, let me see it, a link between sleep paralysis and alien abduction. Well, many professors, let me see this, you all. Many professional scientific and medical sources contribute sleep paralysis to nocturnal hallucinations. No, I don't think they're hallucinating. Night terrors and or alien abductions. It has been happening for decades and centuries, and in ancient time, oh, the demons were to blame. So they've got this, your body can't move and you are, well, you know, something must have been shown right there, you all, because they took that video down. There's something to this. They probably had something very important in that video, and they said, no, you're not going to let the people know. You're not. So in a closer view, let's listen to this, you all. You know, yeah. So is it okay if we read that, you all? Although I'm talking about swamp myth, is it okay if I read about that sleep paralysis? Because, you know, there's some kind of beings, there's something happening to people. Yeah, something happening. And I've not heard of it before. I'd like to read it if that's okay with you all. It is, even though we're talking about the swamp thing. Thank you, Al Honey. Yeah, we can read that because that's interesting. It really is. I'd like to know, because what if I have some kind of a blockage in my memory and I blocked something out and I don't remember if I had it or not. So let's look. Signs and symptoms of sleep paralysis. Buzzing and humming noises and bright lights. Oh my goodness. Bright lights that appear inside the room is quite common. You may feel that you are being kidnapped by very strange beings, or you're being held or pushed down against your will as your mind attempts making sense of this attack. The will to escape can take over while your body is ill-equipped, enabling it to make a rescue. You call out for some help or try to stand up, and having the inability to move your body are the most common symptoms one can experience from sleep paralysis. In taking a closer view at the common reported alien encounter, people claim feeling paralyzed while at their beds sleeping. Sometimes they also hear a buzzing or humming, as well as strange light appearing in their room. The sleeping people are visited by strange beings who seem to examine them for medical research purposes. There are times in which dreams are more obscure. The person feels something strange and unseen at night hovering over him, holding a pillow over his head, or if not, holding him down. A comparison, you all. This is interesting. With the different reports and claims from people, comparison between sleep paralysis and alien abduction is quite clear. However, all the claims and reports are hard to define up to now. Just remember that if aliens go to abduct you from your room or visit you while you are asleep, sleep paralysis cannot be easily ruled out, you all. This is really interesting. If you research cannot move while sleeping, the internet will suggest sleep paralysis as the explanation. But in the case of an alien abduction, one explanation is not going to clear or explain all the reports and claims. There are cases that claim people being abducted by unknown while walking or driving home. Though such accounts can be contributed or associated with narcolepsy, which is often related to the disorder sleep paralysis, the concept of this article boils down into taking enough time and effort to research human experiences. Usually, science tells you lots about incidents that are being labeled as alien or paranormal if you are willing to see beyond the closed or open mind. There is no evidence that sleep paralysis and alien abduction is connected. However, the link between these two things are quite clear. So you all, if you had so could you compare that to, like, you fallen asleep, you're so exhausted, you're fallen asleep, and while you're sleeping, you know you want to wake up, and you're trying your best to wake up because you know your body's there, but you cannot make your body wake up and move. Okay, that's happened to me lots too, you all. It has. And the last time it happened, I thought, I'm going to go outside. I'm going to sit in my car and let the sunlight come in, and it's going to feel nice and warm. I'm going to lean back in the seat. It's so quiet. This is a few months ago. And I leaned back in my sleep. I fell into a deep sleep, and I thought, I got to wake up. And I tried and tried to wake up, and I could see myself. I could see my surroundings. I could. But I was in such a deep sleep, and I could not wake my body up. I was so groggy. And I couldn't hold my eyes open at all either. Couldn't hold them open at all. My body felt really heavy. And I had to close my eyes again and lay there, and I guess I slept more. And when I did wake up, an hour and a half had passed, and I thought, oh my gosh, I've been laying here for an hour and a half. And then I got up and I went in the house. Is that how it happens? Is it? Yeah. Oh wow, nature spirit, mind awake and body asleep. Um, yeah. There are people, nature spirit, like you're saying, travel. You travel in your sleep, you astral travel, and you're fully aware of it. And you can go to other parts of the world. You can just zoop and you're there. You go through walls when you astral travel. Uh, Sometimes before you even go to sleep, you know that you're going to have those types. Yeah. Hmm. That's right, you all. It's getting kind of cold up here. It is, Mr. Swamp Thing. I think they got something going on in Florida, in the Everglades, with that song, A Seminole Wind. Yeah, we should sing Seminole Wind again, you all, and then just let this video go out with the song of A Seminole Wind. Because they lost their home, the Everglades did. Yeah, that's right. Um, Aw, Christine, honey, that's sad. That's okay, we know. Yes, you are. We're gonna sing that Seminole Wind again, you all, because we're talking about these. I gotta find that song, Seminole Wind. Yeah, that's a peaceful song. Um, it is. We can sing it. Ah, Michael. Yeah, that's great. See if we can sing it. See if we sing that song. We can. Did you all want the words on here? We can put the words on here for you to sing. We sure can, you all. We can sing together. I'm going to put me in this little side thing. We can do it. We'll do it. Yes, the spirit world is a powerful place. It most definitely is. So let me see if I can move this over here to the side. You all want to see it like that. Let's read this Seminole Wind, and we're going to sing it. Yes, we will. Y'all ready? This is embarrassing, but we can do it. All right. Ever since the days of old, men would search for wealth untold. They dig for silver and for gold and leave the empty holes. And way down south in the Everglades, where the black water rolls and the sawgrass waves. The eagles fly and the otters play in the land of the Seminole. So blow, blow, Seminole wind, blow like you're never gonna blow again. I'm calling to you like a long-lost friend, but I know who you are. And blow, blow from the Okeechobee, all the way up to Mackinac. Blow across the home of the Seminole, the alligators and the gar. And progress came and took its toll, and in the name of flood control, they made their plans and they drained the land. Now the glades are going dry. And the last time I walked in the swamp, I sat upon a cypress stump. I listened close and I heard the ghost of Osceola cry. So blow, blow, Seminole wind, blow like you're never gonna blow again. I'm calling to you like a long-lost friend, but I know who you are. And blow, blow from the Okeechobee, all the way up to Mackinac. Blow across the home of the Seminole, the alligators and the gar. We did it, you all. Yes, we sung it. We sung that song. Since we are looking at the swamp, I don't think it's a myth. I really don't. And they probably are different types of beings, some spiritual, some interdimensional, some elemental. Okay, there could be some bad beings, I don't know, but I'm sure it existed, or we would not have books out about it and things like that. Yes, you all. That's right. So I am going to go. I'm going to go, you all. Thank you all so much for being on here. I know this is kind of a different video, but that's okay. I like it. I think it's really nice. I like to learn. I really do, especially since I never got to learn about these types of things when I was younger. I didn't. And now I get to learn about them, and it's nice, and it's nice to learn together. It really is. And it's something different. It is something different to focus on. Yeah. You all please give this video a thumbs up. Absolutely. So with that being said, hello wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello from my heart to yours. Love you. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and thank you, moderators, and thank you all for all your comments, especially about the sleep paralysis and the lights. I didn't know about that. I didn't know what that meant, and all the other things that you have shared. I appreciate it, and I know other people appreciate you commenting too. Have a wonderful evening. Love you.